Most men assume that once they cross 50, their value in the dating and attraction world either goes up if they have money, or it plummets if they don't. You might have been told over and over that women are only after status, resources, or some kind of financial security. But the truth, and I'm going to break this down for you like a psychologist, using science, and sharing some shocking secrets that most men will never hear, is that money is not what makes an older man instantly attractive. In fact, many women are deeply drawn to men over 50 for reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with wealth, flashy cars, or big houses. And if you really understand these principles, you'll realize you already have within you the power to become one of the most magnetic, irresistible versions of yourself without trying to fake status. Now, I want you to pause and think about something. Have you ever seen an older man, maybe in his 50s or 60s, who wasn't particularly wealthy or famous, but he just walked into a room and women instantly noticed him? Maybe he didn't even say much. He just had that presence, that aura, that calm confidence. Women turned their heads. Younger men respected him. And you thought to yourself, what does he have that I don't? If you've ever asked that question, type yes in the comments right now, because this is exactly what we're going to explore today. Here's the shocking truth. Science has consistently shown that women are biologically, emotionally, and psychologically wired to pick up on qualities far beyond a man's bank account. In fact, many women find excessive flaunting of wealth to be a turnoff, because it signals insecurity rather than true confidence. A psychologist named Abraham Maslow talked about self-actualization, the idea of reaching a level in life where you know who you are, and you're not defined by external validation. When an older man radiates that, he instantly becomes attractive in ways that no young guy with abs and a sports car can replicate. Now let's dig deeper into what those qualities actually are, and how you can cultivate them starting right now. And don't worry, I'm not going to give you fluffy motivational advice. I'm going to give you grounded, scientific, and even shocking insights that most men will never hear in their entire lifetime. First, let's talk about presence. Presence is that almost invisible energy field around you that communicates confidence without a word. Science has shown that humans are highly sensitive to nonverbal cues. A study in evolutionary psychology demonstrated that posture, eye contact, and even the way a man uses silence can create stronger feelings of attraction than physical appearance alone. Let me give you a secret. When a man over 50 has mastered presence, women feel it in their nervous system before they even consciously process it. They feel safe, intrigued, and drawn in. Presence is like a psychological magnet. Think of it this way. A young man often tries too hard to prove himself. He overcompensates with loudness, bravado, or showing off. But an older man who understands his own value doesn't need to compete with anyone. His calmness becomes shocking in a noisy world full of men begging for attention. That contrast is what makes him stand out. And here's a tip you can start practicing today. Slow down. Speak more slowly. Use pauses. Make eye contact a second longer than you normally would. These micro-shifts create an instant aura of authority and attraction. Quick check-in. Are you with me so far? If this is resonating with you, type 2 in the comments so I know you're still tuned in. Now, the second factor that makes older men irresistible has to do with emotional intelligence. Psychologists call this EQ, the ability to recognize, understand, and regulate your emotions, while also being attuned to the emotions of others. Science has proven that EQ is one of the strongest predictors of successful relationships, even more than IQ or raw intelligence. And here's the secret. Older men have a unique advantage in this department. You've lived. You've had heartbreaks, losses, victories, and lessons. When you process those experiences properly, you naturally develop empathy, wisdom, and emotional depth that younger men simply can't fake. What does this mean in real life? It means when a woman talks to you, she feels heard. Not just listened to, but actually understood. When you show her that you grasp her emotions without judgment, that is more powerful than having a fancy car parked outside. The shocking part is that most men never develop this skill. They focus on external achievements and neglect the internal world. But when you, as a man over 50, learn to master your inner world, women sense it instantly. It makes you magnetic. Here is something fascinating from science. Studies in psychology show that people are more attracted to those who can regulate stress and maintain calm under pressure. Why? Because it signals resilience and safety. An older man who radiates emotional calmness becomes like a safe harbor in a storm. And in today's chaotic world, that's incredibly attractive. Let me ask you something right here. Have you ever had a conversation with a woman where you felt she opened up more than you expected? Almost like she trusted you quickly? If that's happened to you, drop a yes in the comments, because that means you're already projecting some of this emotional intelligence, even if you didn't realize it. Now, let's talk about physicality. No, I'm not saying you need to look like a 25-year-old bodybuilder. Science actually shows that women are not universally attracted to the most muscular men. What women consistently find attractive is health, vitality, and posture. That's why even small investments in taking care of your body can have exponential results. A shocking fact. Research published in the journals of gerontology found that perceived age, how old someone looks versus their chronological age, is one of the biggest factors in attractiveness. And here is the secret. Posture and energy level influence perceived age more than wrinkles or gray hair. That means if you carry yourself with upright posture, steady breathing, and vitality in your movements, women perceive you as younger and stronger instantly. And let us be honest, there is something incredibly attractive about an older man who clearly takes care of himself. It doesn't mean being ripped. It means being capable, looking like you have energy, walking with purpose, standing straight. That signals both psychological and biological fitness, and women pick up on it faster than you can imagine. Now, before I continue, let me know in the comments. Do you think posture really makes a difference in how attractive a man looks? Comment 1 if yes, or 0 if no. I'm curious what you think. Another shocking secret that makes older men attractive is boundaries. And I can't stress this enough. Boundaries are like an invisible fence that signal to women. This man respects himself. Therefore, he can be trusted to respect me. Psychology tells us that people with weak boundaries tend to attract toxic dynamics, while people with strong but compassionate boundaries radiate stability. Women crave that, especially in men over 50, because many women are tired of immature games. They want someone who knows what he stands for, what he will tolerate, and what he will not tolerate. When you embody that, you send out a silent but powerful message. I am not desperate. I have standards. If you want to be part of my life, it has to be healthy, respectful, and meaningful. That message alone can be more attractive than a millionaire's yacht. Science backs this up. In fact, a study on mate selection showed that self-respect was rated as one of the most attractive traits across all ages and cultures. Think about that. Self-respect beats money, status, or even physical appearance in long-term attraction. And as an older man, you have the life experience to embody that self-respect in ways younger men haven't learned yet. Still with me? Drop a yes in the comments if you were following along and this is hitting home for you. Now let's talk about something shocking that few men realize. Mystery. Mystery is not about playing games or withholding everything. Mystery is about not oversharing your entire life story in the first 5 minutes. It's about revealing yourself in layers. Science actually confirms that gradual disclosure creates more attraction than instant transparency. A psychologist named Arthur Aaron did research on how people fall in love, and he found that escalating disclosure, revealing personal stories gradually, was far more powerful than a flood of information. When you as an older man embody mystery, you make women lean in. You make them curious. And curiosity is the foundation of attraction. Combine mystery with humor, and you've got an irresistible formula. And no, I don't mean clown humor or dad jokes that fall flat. I mean the kind of humor that comes from confidence, light teasing, playful remarks, and the ability to laugh at yourself. Humor is a shocking psychological shortcut to attraction because it lowers defenses, releases dopamine in the brain, and makes people associate you with pleasure. Science shows that women consistently rate men with a good sense of humor as more attractive, even above looks. And as an older man, your humor can come from life experience and wisdom, not just silly punchlines. Now let's bring it all together with one final secret. The ultimate magnetism of an older man is purpose. Money can buy comfort, but purpose creates legacy. When a man over 50 radiates purpose, he becomes unstoppable. Purpose is that sense that you're not just drifting, you're living intentionally. Women are highly attuned to this, whether consciously or not. A man with purpose doesn't cling to women to give his life meaning. He already has meaning. That independence paradoxically makes women want to be part of your journey. Psychologists call this self-determination, the ability to define your own life path based on intrinsic motivation rather than external validation. Science confirms that self-determination increases well-being, confidence, and attractiveness. And here's the shocking truth. Most men over 50 actually lose their sense of purpose after retirement, divorce, or career changes. But if you rediscover it, whether it's through building something new, mentoring, traveling, or even mastering a hobby, you suddenly radiate vitality and direction. That's more attractive than any Rolex watch. So let's recap in a simple but powerful way. Presence, emotional intelligence, vitality, boundaries, mystery, humor, and purpose. These are the shocking secrets that make older men attractive in ways money never could. And the best part? Every single one of these is available to you right now. You don't need to win the lottery, you don't need plastic surgery, and you don't need to try to be someone you're not. You just need to step into the version of yourself that women are already wired to find irresistible. Quick viewer engagement. Which of these qualities do you think is your strongest right now? Presence, emotional intelligence, or purpose? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to know. And before we close, let me give you a final shocking insight. Attraction doesn't end at 50, 60, or even 70. Science shows that humans are capable of deep, romantic, and sexual connections throughout their lifespan. What women are looking for evolves with age. At 20, she might have prioritized adventure. At 30, maybe stability. But at 40, 50, 60, she wants depth, she wants authenticity, and she wants a man who knows who he is. That's why this stage of life is actually the best time to step into your power as a man. So if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been thinking it's too late, I want you to remember this. Attraction is not about competing with younger men on their turf. It's about owning your turf, being the man who radiates calm, wisdom, and strength in a world full of noise. That's what makes women look at you and say, "There's something about him I can't ignore." And if you want more actionable tips to improve your health after 60 and psychological dynamics of female attraction, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss my next video.